No.
Same reason I wouldn't go down on her.
Oh, my God.
2-1.
Oh.
That's right.
Oh, God. It's worse when he's here with me, kids.
That's what she said.
Hey, kids. We're back.
We are here.
We're here, and we're actually
live.
Look at that. If you're looking at the video on the YouTube channel, YouTube, I mean, the link's on our website, because I don't think it's just youtube.com/the Maximum Effort Podcast.
It's close enough.
It's close enough, yeah.
I think you were right. I zoned out for a second.
It was close enough. But if you're watching the video, he's sitting right next to me.
Look at this guy.
Look at this guy. Hey. Yeah. Surprise. We're actually together this time.
Good times.
I'm Dave.
I'm still Adam.
God, he's still Adam.
It's like a VIP episode.
I know, right?
I'm still me.
I'm still me.
It's a sick world we live in, man.
It's all the cheesecake talking.
Yeah. Oh, my God. I've made so many cheesecakes.
This guy has been just racking up cheesecake. Oh, my God.
In less than a week, tomorrow will be a week. In 6 days, I've made 3 cheesecakes. That's not an exaggerated number.
So when do you open the bakery, man?
I'm telling you, dude. So quick rundown on why I've cooked 3 cheesecakes. If you're watching the video, you can see why I've made 3 cheesecakes. Yeah. So I made one for everybody at work before I left, because I found a really good keto cheesecake recipe and I wanted to make it.
Right.
So I took that one to work. Ironically, another woman at work made a cheesecake the same day and brought it in, and we never talked to each other about it.
Naturally.
I don't know what the hell the odds of that are. But I bought a springform pan, and I wanted to make a keto cheesecake, so I made it. And then I brought the pan down here because these guys said they didn't have one. So I made one when I got here because his wife, our illustrious EP...
Yeah, and my illustrious wife.
She's illustrious twice.
She is.
She said she's obsessed with cheesecake, so I made it really good. We just finished it last night, actually. She's like, yeah, let's just go ahead and make another one. So we made another one. What are the odds of that happening?
I don't know, man. It just means there's a delivery or something.
Oh, well, there's someone ringing at the doorbell and the dog's barking like a mother back there. This is how you know we're live, because we're both listening to the dog bark.
Yeah. Yoda! Wow,
and we're back. Take 2. So, yeah, I've made 3 cheesecakes in 6 days. They're pretty damn good, I'm not going to lie.
They are. They actually are. I'm not a cheesecake dude. I'm not a cheesecake dude, but yeah.
2 pieces.
Yeah, definitely worth it. Because we're all, the 3 of us, we're all kind of ketoing it. You guys more so than me, because I failed today and I had a big old glass of chocolate milk.
I could have made you keto chocolate milk.
With the Nestle Quick in it and everything.
You didn't ask.
I failed.
Today's episode is brought to you by Nintendo, Superman, and Bang energy drinks, which do not spike your blood sugar on keto.
They don't. They don't. I already had mine earlier for the Patreon episode, which we finally sat down and ran our mouths over The Last Starfighter.
Very long overdue.
Very long overdue. So if you want to hear that, you go check us out, patreon.com/the Maximum Effort Podcast. And then you can see our smiling faces as we ridicule aliens.
Yeah. We really do appreciate our patrons. You guys really help keep the server running, keep the episodes coming out.
Yeah, we do appreciate you guys. You're basically the reason we can still sort of function. That and
Bang.
Yeah, Bang. I found Bang in the midst of trying to find a keto energy drink. Because the rock stars, as delicious as they are, it's a lot of carbs. It's a lot of sugar.
Your sugar before a rock star is a normal level.
Yeah, so we're between 70 and 90.
Then after the rock star,
there's that like hour and a half where everything in your visual spectrum vibrates a little bit. And then you fall asleep for 6 hours.
I feel like if you collected your piss and put it in a jar in the garage, it would ferment with enough of the sugar in it to turn into some kind of liquor that you could drink.
No, you know what it'd be? Minotaur.
There it is. Anyone who gets that reference, you're something special.
Yeah, you'll get a sticker if you know that reference. Which, you want to show the kids the pile we have left?
Yeah.
We still have some.
We have stickers, kids.
Look.
If you're on the YouTube, you can see them. We have some left. We are going to be placing another order for more eventually. Also, we're going to get stickers with our new logo.
Yes, we do have a new logo. Once again, big shout out to the Mighty Clam for that one, because it's just awesome.
It's pretty hardcore. I'm not going to lie. We love it.
Yeah,
Really
it
do.
is. What else do we want to tell the kids? I mean, if you want one of those stickers,
Yeah.
go where you get your podcasts. Leave us a good review. Leave us 5 stars on the Apple Podcasts. Leave us some sort of decent, some sort of positive, we don't want to kill you, so it's okay message. And
as long as you leave the 5 stars, you can call us complete pieces of gutter trash. I don't care. It just needs to be a 5-star review.
Oh,
I calls them like I sees them.
You can leave us 5 stars, even if you want Mike Tyson's tiger to eat us.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not everyone has Apple, though. Some of
That's
you
very true.
weird psychopaths out there use Android.
It's a sign of a serial killer right there.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So if you are on Android, not Apple, but you would still like a sticker, give us some kind of a shout out on social media. Share the Facebook page, tag us in something on Instagram. If you're walking through a store and you see a cool toy that was something from the 80s, take a picture of it and tag us on Instagram. We'll send you a sticker.
Yeah, at the Maximum Effort Podcast.
If you leave us a review, though, please take a screenshot of it and email it to us.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to beg people to tell me who I need to send a sticker to.
Yeah. So just,
if you want the sticker, tell us.
Yeah, email us. The Maximum Effort Podcast at gmail.com.
Yeah.
Let's put the on there because Ohio boys.
The Maximum Effort Podcast.
That's right.
At gmail.com.
OH.
Also, we've got some t-shirts coming.
We do.
So basically what you're going to get is this logo.
Much larger, of course.
I ordered them this size.
Okay, so, yeah.
Now, you're going to get it. If you're watching the video, my Superman shirt, it's going to honestly be about this big. His controller.
Yeah.
It's going to fill the whole shirt. It's going to look real nice. We have those ordered. Orders are basically locked down at this point. They're going to start printing the screens, and we should have those by the end of August. I'm hoping. They said roughly a month turnaround. It's real busy for them in the fall. So shout out to the Shirt Shack over in Mansfield. They're going to put some work together for us, and we'll keep you guys updated on those.
Yeah, we appreciate them very, very much because, I mean, we did all of as much legwork as we could. Yeah. And it was just...
We checked around. Right before we placed the order, we actually went to a local place here in Opelika.
Yeah, a place that just opened not that long ago.
And we walked in, and the girl looked bored out of her mind. Like, absolutely, just could care less if she was there. And we walked in, and she said, "Hi, can I help you guys?" And I looked at her, I said, "Yeah, we were, I was actually wanting to pick up a couple of used Xbox games. I didn't know if you guys had any laying around." And she just stared at me with the blankest of looks. I said, "Yeah, she doesn't think I'm funny at all." So.
Nope.
Then I told her we were there looking at T-shirts. Oh, well, let me get a price quote. Oh, she got all excited.
Yeah, she got really perked up then.
And their prices were comparable with the Shirt Shack, but honestly, I called the Shirt Shack to get some more information. See how many times I can say Shirt Shack.
Yeah.
I called the Shirt Shack. Are we on 5 now?
You're right. I think you're at like 8 or 9.
And I told the girl that answered the phone at the Shirt Shack. I'm just going to keep saying it. I told the girl we were looking to... Yeah, meow. I told her what we were looking for and if there was a discount if we ordered more shirts. And she goes, "Yeah, I remember when you were in here like 2 months ago getting that info." And I was like...
You remember that?
I'm like, I want to order from these guys now just because they remember it. Like, that's customer service.
Yeah,
and that's
you hadn't talked to them in that long.
No, I haven't talked to them since I was in there. So it's been at least 60 days.
Yeah.
So we went with those guys. I appreciate that kind of commitment. Plus... They are going to keep the screens, so if we decide in 3 or 6 months we want to order another run, it'll be less time and less work.
Exactly.
So, not the final order of shirts, but as of now, the reviews are shut down. Can't have one.
Sorry.
You waited too long.
Yeah, you took too long. We told you what to do, and you didn't listen, so... That's on you, buddy.
And I'm sure at this point people have noticed we've tried to get a little more active on our Instagrams.
Yeah, we have been, per advice from our illustrious EP.
Yeah, she kind of schooled us on...
She sat us down and said, "Gentlemen, this is the wave of the future."
She showed us all about lighting.
Yes, lighting is key. Yeah, we were almost put in our place as the inconspicuous.
Pay no attention to the curtain.
Pay no attention to the man holding the phone that's running video right now.
It's not.
It's absolutely not. It won't end up on Instagram. So, yeah, we kind of got told what for, and yeah. So, we're trying to be more active on the socials. We've been posting a lot. Actually found some cool places to go yesterday.
Hell yeah, we did.
Yeah. Shout out almost anything Opelika.
Yeah.
Like,
that guy had the hookup.
Yeah, you may as well just stand up and get it for the kids. For the YouTube channel. Just
You have wheels.
I don't have a long...
Okay.
Neither one of us has a long cord.
Okay, hold on, kids.
We have something to show you.
This is worth me getting up.
It is worth him getting up. This is find of the decade, in our opinion.
Do you want to hum the theme song while I walk back to the mic?
I would, but I don't want to get sued by the Mouse or Lucas.
That's true.
Because they got ears everywhere, man. Yes, that's right. For those of you who don't know, this is a Star Wars laser disc. Now, what that means, number one, this was cutting edge in 94?
I think it said when this was printed on the back. 89 is when this was burned onto a disc.
89. Okay, this is cutting edge. And it's basically the precursor to the DVD. It works pretty much on the same principle. However, that version of Star Wars is the unedited, unaltered, unextended, unfucked with version that George Lucas decided to rape our childhoods with.
Pretty much.
And we saw that and we're like, no, this has to happen. This has to go down.
Yeah.
So...
we don't even have a Laserdisc player.
Yeah, if anybody has a cheap Laserdisc player they're looking to get rid of, give us a call, give us a shout out, email us, the Maximum Effort Podcast, gmail.com. We'll take it off your hands because, I mean, this was basically fun. Like I said, this is find of the decade, in my opinion.
We debated on it, and I'm like, we can't
for about 3 minutes,
up on this.
We couldn't let it go.
No.
I thought about hiding it in the stacks, but I'm like, nah, somebody will find it.
Yeah, for sure.
It's just like, I ran through the worst case scenarios in my brain.
Basically. And it was funny because when we checked out, too, the guy was like, now, you guys know this is not a record, right? This is a laser disc. And we're both like,
we are well aware. Yeah.
We know, buddy.
Yeah, we got this.
Yeah.
And,
so.
Yeah. I think that's a good investment right there.
Yeah.
If nothing else. If everything else tanks, we can sell that off. And
for the uninitiated, if you're not familiar with a laser disc, just think back to any time you had a substitute teacher and they wheeled the TV in on the cart.
Oh, no, the biology teacher at Bucyrus High, what was his name?
Fisher.
Fisher, yeah, he had one.
Yeah, Mr. Fisher.
Yeah.
If you went to Bucyrus, he had one. It's a CD that's
It's a record, but it's a DVD.
It's a CD. It's a DVD that's this big.
DVD.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's exactly what it is.
It's a long vinyl play record.
Yeah.
DVD. And yeah.
So we just got done watching The Last Starfighter. We picked up Star Wars. So we figured going with that theme that we would keep on the TV movie kind of theme today.
Kind of thing.
So yeah, as you've obviously already figured out from the title of the episode, we're going to talk about Quantum Leap today.
Yeah.
That show is my jam. I love Quantum Leap.
Yeah, I never hopped on it. I never did. I failed. I know. I don't know what I was doing back then.
I have no idea what he was doing back in the day.
You're not wrong.
No.
You're not wrong.
Yeah. If you want to see the hand gesture I made, just go to the MaximumEffortPodcast.com.
Yeah.
Click on the link for our YouTube channel and watch me do an obscene hand gesture.
Yeah.
Now I just told him what it is. So, yeah, I thought we'd delve into the world of Quantum Leap a little bit. I've got some notes I'm going to be reading off of, but that's more to keep me on track, really. I've seen every episode of that show like 3 or 4 times, so I kind of have a generalized gist of it in the back of my own mind. And it kind of tags back to our Airwolf episode.
It does.
Creator Donald P. Belisario
Correct.
created Airwolf, also created Quantum Leap, did produce a couple of episodes of Quantum Leap, but was credited mainly as the creator. And his name was always at the credit, created by Donald P.
Yeah, he was always the
Belisario.
guy at the typewriter at the end of it, and he pulls the piece of paper
Yeah,
out, and
that
it
was
flies into a pile. And
That was Donnie.
yeah.
He also did Magnum PI, JAG, and NCIS. So I'm sure between those things you're familiar with some kind of work that he did. I Googled him real quick. Dude, as of like last quarter, has a net worth of $250 million.
Poor guy.
It must suck sitting at a typewriter typing and making $250,000 a year.
Just floating in your Scrooge McDuck money pool with your laptop.
I always questioned that because my theory is if I dove into a giant pile of coins, I would probably die from a concussion. Yeah. So I never really understood that. But then I also guess he spit it out of his mouth like water too. So
He did.
they were also talking ducks, so I can't.
I mean, hey,
Logic went out the window.
pretty much, yeah.
So the show originally revolved around a physicist by the name of Dr. Samuel Beckett, which was played by Scott Bakula. Scott Bakula has been in enough things. You have to know who this guy is.
Yeah,
basically.
if you don't, shame on you.
Yeah, how dare you? Show ended up running for 97 total episodes. Technically 96 because the first episode was originally aired as a 2-hour movie, but then it was split into Genesis Part 1 and 2, and then so that came up at the 97.
There you go.
Yeah. First episode aired March 26, 1989, and the last episode May 5th, 1993. So we got a total of 5 seasons out of this show. The premise of the show is Dr. Sam Beckett is a physicist, and he builds a time machine. And they run some tests. The time machine is actually based out in the Nevada desert where they did the atomic bomb testing.
Great Scott.
I'm pretty sure that the address of the test center was 1.21 gigawatt lane, but I could be making that up.
I think you're making that one up, champ.
So the first episode starts with a guy driving a very futuristic looking Ferrari down a highway in the desert. And he comes up on a pair of high heels and a flat tire.
Is he blaring White Snake while he's driving down?
He is again on his own, going down the only road he's living on. Yeah, that would have been honestly better. It was playing some weird, like, trippy synthesizer music. But he pulls up to the girl, and he kind of leans out the window, and it's Dean Stockwell. He plays a character named Al.
He's wearing heels?
No, he pulled up on a girl wearing heels. She's standing on the road. You see a low cut shot of her heels and a flat tire, and him pulling up to her. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Rolls down the window, and he's like, "I would love to help you." And he's in a nice tux, dressed real fancy. He goes, "But I can't." She goes, "Because you're on your way to your wedding and you're late." And he goes, "How can I be late for my wedding? We've only just met."
Ooh.
Yeah. And then you hear a wolf. Yeah, you hear a wolf howl in the distance. And he looks off and she looks off and he goes, "I promise you I'm a lot friendlier than he is." And she looks at him and she gets this smirk on her face. She goes, "That's what I'm afraid of." So she gets in the car and they go, and it takes off like a rocket. Like it literally goes whoosh when they take off. And they both lean back in the seat, and she goes, "Oh, I've never felt anything like that before." And he just kind of gives her this smirk and a look. And then you see this lightning off in the distance, and she's like, "Oh, what is that?" And he gets this very uneasy look on his face. He's like, "Oh, it's some kind of lightning," and blah, blah, blah. I forget exactly what he says. And she's like, "But there's no clouds in the sky anywhere. I can see all the stars." She goes, "Isn't that where they used to do the nuclear testing?" He goes, "Oh, I don't know." She goes, I've heard there's some kind of secret military base over there." And he's getting this real uneasy look on his face.
Stormed by Naruto runners.
Yeah. Kyle's over there cracking open a can of Monster Energy.
Yeah,
Every time he does, you see a lightning bolt. That reference is not going to make sense in a year.
No,
and that's what I love about our
so
society.
great.
It's going to be gone by then. And people are like, what's a Monster and Kyle? What the fuck?
What?
And so he starts pushing buttons in the car, and then a guy named Gooshi comes over the speakers. Bless me.
Gushy?
Gooshi.
Gushy.
Gooshi. Gooshi. That's the gentleman's name.
And domo arigato to you too.
See? Yes. And so Al starts talking to Gooshi, and he's like, Gooshi, what's going on? And Gushi's like screaming. He's like, he's doing it. He's leaping. And Al's like, what do you mean he's leaping? He's like, Gushi's like, Sam jumped in the accelerator. He's leaping. Ziggy told him not to, but he did it anyways. And Al's like, well, Gushi's like, what do I do? And Al's like, you don't do anything. He's like, any interference could kill him. And you just see Sam wearing a full white bodysuit standing in a cloud of smoke, kind of lifting his arms up and going, this big old smile on his face. And then it cuts, and then Sam wakes up laying in a bed. So what has occurred here, which, being a man of science, as much as any other person, I guess, Dave can attest. Tell the kids, the uninitiated, what a quantum leap is.
A quantum leap?
Yeah.
Well, that would probably be where you are traveling at a rate fast enough to catch up either with the past or throwing yourself further ahead in one of several possible directions of a timeline, depending on the series of events that take place, to be in the future. Basically it's like a transporter, but it just sends you back in time.
Basically.
Yeah.
The other definition, which I guess I was looking for.
What's the official one?
A leap in technology, essentially.
Oh yeah, well yeah, it's a one of those ahead of its time kind of.
The
things,
computer was a quantum leap.
Yeah.
The cell phone was a quantum leap.
Yeah.
Anything that advances.
Steve Jobs was a quantum.
Yeah, basically. Speaking of Steve Jobs,
Hey.
the dude at the store had an old Apple II.
Yeah.
And he had the monitor and he even had the 5.7 floppy disk. He told us in the back, he goes, I have one without the monitor, but it's actually signed by Steve Wozniak. And I was just like, that's cool.
I'm impressed. Yeah, I was impressed.
I thought maybe he stole it from the Big Bang Theory set after they were done filming because Sheldon had one. But I don't think his was signed. No, he took it to get it signed by Wozniak.
Well, had is the operative word.
Had. Past tense. Yeah, do you know why you can't run through a campground? You can only ran? Because it's past tense.
Dad jokes for days here at the Maximum Effort Podcast.
That's right, kids. So, Sam steps into... it's convenient that the show's called Quantum Leap. He leapt, and the device was a quantum leap. It was essentially time travel. So, his theory was that a person could step into the quantum leap accelerator and leap through their own lifetime through the past up to, like I'm 37 now and I was born in 82. So the theory is I could leap from the day of my birth from 1982 to this day. I can't go further, but I can revisit places that I had already existed in time, essentially.
You're 37?
Yeah. Did I not say that?
Really, Dante?
I missed something there.
Think about the number 37.
It's half of how old I'll be when I die.
Did you not watch Clerks, you son of a bitch?
I'm not getting the reference at all right now. It's been so long since I've seen Clerks. Help me out.
How many dicks did Veronica suck?
Oh.
Goddamn. Jesus.
I'm sorry, I don't remember how many. I don't remember
it.
how many dicks someone sucked.
I gotta paint a picture for it's a Kevin Smith movie. How do you not remember?
That is true. I apologize, Kevin. I know you're not going to ever hear this,
Yeah,
but I
you'll
do
never
still
watch
apologize.
This, but come on.
I apologize.
Our whole friendship is based on that.
No shit, right? We're going to have to watch Clerks after this is done recording now so I can remember.
Indeed.
So, okay, so where was I at? Okay, so his theory was you could leap and you could step in the accelerator and visit any time through your own lifetime and then come back.
Okay.
Well, they weren't quite done doing the testing yet.
It's great in theory.
It is great in theory. So Sam stepped into the quantum leap accelerator. He wakes up on September 13th, 1956 at an Air Force base in Blockfield, California. And he can't remember anything. He wakes up and it's him. And he goes, we did it. And then he goes, what did we do? Who am I? I can't remember anything.
I like how he says, who am I?
Yeah, like he doesn't know anything. Like pure amnesia, basically.
Completely wiped.
Yeah, gone.
Wow.
He sits up and there's a lady laying in the bed next to him. And he goes, oh man, she's pregnant. And she's got a big old gut sticking out. So hilarity ensues. He's trying to remember what he's doing there. And when he looks in the mirror, he doesn't see himself. He sees the person whose body he's in. And as the series progresses, it is discovered that animals can detect there's not something right with him. Anytime a dog sees him, they bark at him like crazy.
Right.
And children see him for who he is, not whose body he's in.
Right.
So that, in a couple episodes, that plays a key kind of component. But it's interesting that children and dogs know. It's like bees and dogs can smell fear. Kids and dogs can smell a leaper, I guess. So eventually, Al gets to the facility, and he's talking to Gooshi, and they're trying to figure out what happened. They're trying to figure out where he is, first of all. Now, here's a fun fact that they don't ever explore in the TV series, but they do explore in the books, and the books are considered canon. When Sam leaps, his body is left in the facility in his present. His mind goes back in time to the person that he was in. The person that he's in goes forward into time, into Sam's body that is sitting in the facility.
I mean, this is some transcendental shit right here. Like, this is...
Yeah, buddy.
Wow.
Yeah. So
the person who ends up in his body while he's in theirs,
they put him...
just in suspended animation?
No, they put him... They're awake. They feed him. They talk to him. They explain to him, something happened. And this is the premise of the show. Something happened to this person that affected their life so badly that the Quantum Leap Accelerator determined that Sam needed to go back to that moment in that person's life and fix it.
What if he's incapable?
That was always my question. He can't leap again until he fixes the wrong in that person's life, and then it will re-engage the quantum drive, and it will make him leap. What if he doesn't fix the thing?
I mean, the quantum drive sounds like a jerk.
Kind of a little bit. Well, here's the fun part. Ziggy is an artificial intelligence. It's not even a person.
I was wondering who Ziggy was.
Yeah, Gushi's a real person, but Ziggy's just artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
Ziggy's the one that said the math's not ready. We can't leap yet. This is too soon. So, all of a sudden, he's walking around. He has to pretend he's this airplane pilot. He doesn't know who he is, but he knows he isn't this guy. But... Yeah. And then all of a sudden, Al shows up. And he goes to give Al a hug. He recognizes Al.
Naturally.
And he goes to give Al a hug, and he walks right through him. Al is not there. Al's a hologram. They have a separate room that Al can go into, and think the holodeck on Star Trek. When Al goes in it, it shows him everything Sam sees, the surrounding area.
Yeah.
But only Sam can see and hear Al. Everything to Al isn't there, and Al isn't there to Sam.
Makes sense.
But Al can interact with the environment through, like lights. And like there's one episode where Sam's supposed to be this amazing pool player. And Al uses his little handheld computer he has. And it's funny because it's...
See, I thought that was Ziggy.
That's a link to Ziggy, essentially.
Okay. There you go.
Kind of think like the tricorders on Star Trek.
Yeah.
It's a link to the main computers.
Okay, gotcha.
But it would always make these weird noises, and he'd go when he hit it.
Yeah.
It would make these weird sounds. But he would always look up, and he'd be like, Ziggy! He's yelling at the computer. There's one episode where he's a pool player, and he uses the control pad for Ziggy to show Sam exactly where to hit the cue ball, and you see these lights across the table at the different angles, and so he knows right where to hit the ball every time. But nobody else can see these lights, so they think Sam is just a good pool player.
Good, yeah.
So they determine where he is. They determine, and it's probability. They're like, there's an 86.2% probability that you're here to fix this. So it turns out Sam is there they think he's there to make a successful plane test, but he's actually ends up being there, and that's usually how every episode goes. Well, we think it's an 84% chance you're here to do this. Oh, we were wrong. It's actually 96% this.
Which at a certain point, wouldn't you think, okay, it's been wrong enough times that I'm not going to listen to you anymore?
Let's just ignore the first one.
Just throw the math out, dude.
So he's actually there. His wife gets super upset when he does this experimental test flight, and she has premature birth and the baby dies.
Okay.
That's what he's there to prevent. It's her getting so upset that she goes into premature labor and loses the baby.
Okay.
Once that happens at the end of the episode, Sam turns bright blue. Everything kind of pauses, and you hear this, and then he pops.
Right.
And he leaps. Now, the theory was he was supposed to leap back home.
There you go thinking again.
Here we go again, where the bugs are not worked out.
Jeez.
He leaps into a baseball player, and it's like 20-some years in the future.
Right.
And the guy misses a pitch, and that basically ruined this guy's whole life. His career went downhill. The team fired him. So basically, Sam is there to win the game. So Sam steps up to the plate, cracks a home run, and then he leaps again. And that was literally a 10-second, maybe realistically 2-minute leap.
Right.
And then the next episode, which is actually kind of funny, I was reading online, he wakes up in Marion, Ohio.
Right on.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a professor at some university, and some student fell in love with the professor, and it ruined her whole life. She never graduated, so he's there to stop her from doing that. And that's the whole episode. And then every episode, he leaps, and he leaps again, and he leaps again, and he leaps again.
I wonder if you can find where he ended up in Marion, Ohio.
It was very vague. I would actually like to go back and watch the episode just to see if maybe anything was actually filmed in Marion.
Yeah.
That would be cool. But I mean, they have, Ohio State in Marion, so he could very well have been a professor in Marion.
Very true.
There was 3 episodes of the total run that were in Ohio too. Like a lot of them took place in like New York City and L.A.
Oh, sure, your big
and
spots.
San Fran. Yeah, and then you get like Marion, Ohio, Oak Creek, Ohio.
Why not?
Like these tiny little nothing towns. It was so weird. I don't know what Donald P. Belsario is not from Ohio. None of the actors are from Ohio, so why of all places would they pick these specific towns? Like there's Dave here, we're in Alabama right now. There was one episode in Alabama, but it just said Alabama.
Yeah.
And ironically, it had something to do with some white girl falling in love with a slave, and he had to... Yeah. Like, of course. It's so stupid. And I went, that's racist.
Against who? The white dude, the black dude, or Alabama?
All of that.
All of it, yeah. That's profiling. Profiling is wrong. Unless it's right, and then...
Well,
I mean, in the case of Alabama, it's pretty right.
So, in the very first episode, there's a guy in that episode, and nothing special. He works as one of the guys that Sam talks to while he's flying the plane.
Okay.
He works in the control booth. He also appears in the very last episode, and he plays a character named Al, which we already have introduced a character named Al.
Right.
So I'll get to the final episode here in a minute. I kind of want to lead up to it. So Sam and Al, the guy in the episode, his name is Bruce McGill. He's a pretty well-known actor. He's in My Cousin Vinny. He plays in Time Cop. He is, what's the guy's name in Time Cop?
Jean-Claude Van Damme?
Yes, Jean-Claude Van Damme. He plays Jean-Claude Van Damme's like boss.
Okay.
The guy that is control. Yeah, so if you've seen Time Cop, that's who we're talking about.
Chief.
He was in Animal House.
Who was he in Animal House?
I honestly couldn't figure it out. Like that, I don't know. I couldn't figure out who he was. I didn't recognize the name of the character.
Yeah.
Plus, I don't think he had his facial hair then, so it probably didn't make sense.
Fair enough.
So Al and Sam, they've known each other obviously since they've been building this quantum accelerator, and they don't really explain why Al is there, other than because he was military and he has some kind of quote-unquote military intelligence.
This is hologram Al, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So they develop an actual friendship.
Right.
He's the only person he can talk to about stuff, so obviously they form a bond. Al was in Vietnam. he was kidnapped in Vietnam. He was held prisoner for like 5 years. And the military reported to his wife that your husband died and is missing in action. So, she thought her husband was dead. She got remarried. And he came back a broken, defeated man, obviously. Came back to the wife he thought that was waiting for him. And she wasn't there. She remarried. She had moved on. So kind of Castaway, he had to do the same.
Right.
So at that point, he became basically a womanizer. He had been divorced like 5 or 6 times. I don't think he had any children with any of the wives. But he confides in Sam, he always wishes he had stayed with his first wife. He didn't want that to happen. But he, it was out of his control.
Sure.
And Sam was always like, if I ever go back, I'll try to find a way to help you. If I ever meet your wife before that happens, but after you've been kidnapped, I'll fix it. And he's like, sure you will, buddy. Okay. It was like Aladdin. I'll set you free, genie.
Yeah. Wink.
So 5 seasons, like I said, every episode Sam leaps somewhere. And there's some really good. He leaps into one. He's basically Ray Charles. He's not Ray Charles, but he leaps into a blind piano player. And it's funny because in the episode, he can see.
Right.
And it takes place like in the late 60s when they still use flash bulbs. Well, he gets done with a concert and he has no idea how to play. So Al sets the lights over the keys and he knows which key to press by following the lights with his fingers. Very adaptable kind of human. So he does that and he plays an amazing performance. And after the show, he goes outside and people are taking pictures like crazy. And all of a sudden he turns around and a flashbulb goes off literally 2 inches from his face. And he's blind. He can't see anything. Right. So now he is his actual character. And his blind seeing eye dog knew something was up the whole time. It wasn't... Naturally. But now all of a sudden the dog's like, this is my time. Yeah. This is my moment. So the dog steps up, and he's there. The girl he was dating got kidnapped, and she was, murdered in Central Park. Okay. And that's what he was there to stop. But he's blind now, and it's going to happen. Like Al's telling him, Sam, it's now, Sam. And so the dog takes him. He finds this girl in Central Park, and Al's telling him, swing at 3 o'clock. And he punches the guy in the face, and duck and all this. And he stops it. And then the girl's mom... She kept catching Sam seeing, essentially. And she's talking to him at the end, and he's just standing there staring off blankly into space, because he's blind now. When you can't see, what do you look at? You don't look at it. He's just staring. And he's got sunglasses on. And she lights up a cigarette, and she takes the match, and she puts it right up in his face. And he doesn't flinch, because he can't see it. Right. And she's like... You really are blind. I'm so sorry. And then it turns out getting her mother's acceptance to want to marry him was why he was really there. See what I mean? There's always a little twist at the end.
Yeah, no, it's all right if she dies, but get the mom's acceptance. Yeah, what?
That one, it was more like a 2-parter. He was there to keep her alive, but he also had to get the mom's acceptance. So that as soon as that happened, he leapt. There was another one where he leapt into a construction worker, and the family dog, got a hold of the shotgun shells, and the dog was just chewing on them in the living room. And Al's yelling at Sam. He's like, Sam, if he bites down on that center pin, he's like, that dog's going to be gone. And they thought he was supposed to be there to prevent their little special needs kid from seeing that. Here he was there to prevent the dad, who can't read, from doing something, I don't remember exactly, but doing something at work that ended up killing him because he couldn't read the safety sign. So he taught the dad how to read a little bit, and then he left.
Yeah. Reading is fundamental.
Well, One of the key episodes to the whole show, though, was he actually leapt into a soldier in Vietnam, and he actually ended up watching Al get kidnapped. Oh. Yeah. So that was really interesting. Kids. Yeah, and he tried to stop it, but he couldn't. There's, certain things you just have to progress naturally, and I guess fate or the quantum accelerator determined that was one of them. Okay. But he saw a portfolio of Al being kidnapped, and then he literally watched it happen, and he was he looked at Al, and Al's just standing there like almost ready to cry.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, yeah. He's like, there goes 5 years of my life.
Flashbacks.
Yeah, for real. So, flash forward all the way to the last episode. And it was, I believe it was a 2-parter. The show was an hour every episode.
Right, I do remember that.
And I'm pretty sure it was a 2-parter. Because I don't think you could have fit all this in a 30-minute episode anyways.
No.
But flash forward, and Sam wakes up, and he looks like himself. But when he looks in the mirror, he sees himself.
Mm-hmm.
For the first time in a long time.
Right.
And he looks 5 years older. He's like, oh my God, I have gray hair. And he's looking at his crow's feet beside his eyes. And he's like, is this what I look like? He's like, I haven't seen myself in so long, I don't remember.
Right.
And Al and Ziggy and Gooshi are trying to find him. They can't find him. They've got this machine basically where Al stands in the center and it just kind of spins time around Al until they lock in on Sam. And they're looking for him. They just can't find him.
Okay.
And he's in this mining town. Oh, there was one episode where he leapt into himself as a kid.
Oh, nice.
And so he got to talk to his parents. He got to relive his childhood for a day or a couple of days, whatever. Mm-hmm. And he was there. He thought he was there to prevent his brother from going to war because his brother died in war.
No.
And of course, he was there for something else, but I don't remember what something else was. So they thought, all of a sudden, Al gets this thought. He goes, check his birthday. They're like, what do you mean check his birthday? He goes, wherever he is, it's his birthday. Check his birthday dates. Start checking those dates. So they start cycling through. They can't find him. Finally, real close to the end of the episode, they determine he was... And this is where it gets weird, and this is where the guy from the first episode comes into play.
Okay.
He leapt into himself on the day he was born, but as an adult. I'll let your brain process that for a second. So somewhere else he was born. But where he was him in his normal body. And his body was not in the accelerator like it should be. No. So it literally ripped his entire body across time and space. And he's in this little mining town in like Nevada or something.
Okay.
And there's a guy that works they're like at the bar. And the bartender is Al from the very first episode. Not Al, but another character named Al.
Okay.
And Sam kind of acts like he recognizes him, but he kind of can't place him. Mm-hmm. And the guy just kind of seems to know what's going on. And Sam's there, and they go to the mine, and they have this whole thing where they're doing whatever miners do. I don't know. And one of the guys, Al was like, this guy's going to get crushed and killed today. He's like, all the miners are going to die today. And he's like, oh, I could, make sure I save them. That was loud.
Yeah.
Now you owe everyone a beer.
No, because no one heard it.
I heard it.
I know.
If anyone's wondering why my heart just stopped, someone called him, and it rang through both our headphones.
Yeah, my heart just stopped a little
So
bit,
let me check my pulse real quick.
God.
433? Oh, that's what time it is. Sorry.
Oh, thank God.
Scared for a second. So, and keep in mind, kids, I haven't actually seen the last episode in probably 10 years, so I am pulling it from memory, but I've seen it a lot. It's a good episode, so I do remember quite a bit of it. So Sam goes down into the mine with everybody. He ends up saving everybody. They get back to the bar. They're celebrating. And he asks the guy, what's your name? And he says, oh, my name's Ziggy. And then the guy literally disappears out of thin air. Just gone. Yeah, it was real weird. So then later in the episode, and I can't remember what the other thing is that happens, but he saves somebody else, and the guy that he saves' name was Gooshi.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, I know a Gooshi, and I know a Ziggy, don't I? And Al's explaining to him, yes, you know these people. These are people you actually know. So he's like, what the hell's going on, Sam?
Yeah.
So then all of a sudden, Al can't be there anymore. Like, something happens, and he just disappears.
Mm-hmm.
And Sam is in the bar by himself talking to bartender Al. which was, I can't remember the guy's name.
Bruce McGill.
Yeah, Bruce McGill. Thank you. Can't find my own notes up there. So he's talking to him, and the guy, Bruce McGill, starts talking as Al, the bartender, and he's kind of seeming like he knows what's going on with everything, with the Quantum Leap Accelerator, with Sam, where he is, why he's there, what he's been doing, everything. And they don't really answer the question, but Sam finally asks him, he goes, "Are you God?" And he just kind of starts laughing, but he never answers the question. So it's kind of like, who the hell is this guy? Because he remembers Sam from the first episode.
Right.
And it's kind of the premise that he is God or fate or what have you, and he's been keeping an eye on Sam this whole time.
Okay.
So they're sitting there, they're having that conversation, and he's talking to Sam, and he's like, "Sam, you've done a lot of good for a lot of people." He's like, "What do you want? You've earned whatever you want at this point. What do you want?" Because you got to think, 97 episodes, that means he's helped 95 people. Minus the first episode and the current episode.
Right.
So he's helped 95 people's lives be better. So he's like, "What do you want?" And Sam, like, literally almost starts crying. He's like, "I want to go home." And then he kind of tips his head a little bit, and he sucks up, he takes a real deep breath. He's like, "But I made a promise to someone first."
Mm-hmm.
And the bartender kind of looks at him and winks, and then Sam leaps. And he leaps into himself again.
Okay.
Standing in front of a doorway on a rainy night.
Mm-hmm.
And he knocks on the door, because he recognizes it for some reason immediately.
Sure.
And he knocks on the door, and a lady answers, and he says, "Hi." He's like, "I know Al. Can I come in for a moment?" And the lady's like, "Sure," lets him in. And it's Al's first wife. And it's, I think if you look at the dates, it's about 3 to 6 months after Al had been kidnapped in Vietnam. And he sits down and he talks to her, and he's like, "I don't know how to tell you this." He's like, "But you have to believe me." He's like, "Al's fine. And he's coming home. It's going to take a while, but he's coming home." And she's like, she starts bawling. She hugs him, and as soon as she hugs him, he leaps again. Screen goes black.
Just no gratification.
I'm telling you,
this guy, man.
This is, to me, this is bittersweet. Okay? Screen goes black, and then there's just words. And it says something to the effect of, eventually Al was released as a prisoner. He came home. Him and Beth are still married, and they have 4 beautiful children.
Mm-hmm.
Screen goes black. More words pop up. Sam never returned home. End series.
No, I disapprove of this. I disapprove of it. No. Unless this is some sort of bizarre, like, Tibetan yogi Dalai Lama thing where Sam gets reincarnated as one of Al's kids.
No.
And grows back up.
That's it.
No.
That was the end of the show.
No. No bueno. It's like this. It's like the end of The Sopranos. The screen goes black and that's it, really?
Yeah.
No.
Dexter just... Yeah, that was the end of the show.
Weak sauce.
And I mean, it is, but at the same time, it kind of fits the whole premise of the show that he basically was here to do good for people.
I mean, unless you want to go the theological route, and going home was a euphemism for just going to heaven.
Right. So you have to question, did he leap for the rest of his life until he died? Can he die if he doesn't have a body to die in? That's a
good point.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, does the mind die without the body?
Yeah, a lot of philosophical questions.
Yeah.
If the body dies, does the mind die? Does he stop leaping if the body dies?
It's a good question.
Because they had to keep him fed, which is why they had to feed the people that leapt into him.
Yeah, that's why they stuck him into the grid on the Matrix.
Exactly. Lots of questions.
Lots of questions. My God, now I have to watch this show.
Dude, it's good.
Just to be
really
disappointed all over again.
If nothing else,
in real time.
Yeah, just watch the last episodes, the last 2.
That's true.
But there was a rumor going around. See, they didn't know if the show was going to be picked up for season 6.
Okay.
So they asked Belisario, write us a finale.
Mm-hmm.
And that was what he wrote. But
As a just in case.
the words were what were added as the finale, basically.
Oh.
So Sam was supposed, if the show had been picked up, he would have left again.
Mm-hmm.
Now this is again fan rumor, and Donald P. Belisario denies this ever happened. Supposedly season 6 was going to show Beth and Al married with their children, and at the request of his wife, of Beth, Al was going to leap to find Sam and bring him home. Mm-hmm. But because they didn't get renewed, they just put the 2 sets of text on the screen and ended the show.
Makes you wonder why they didn't get renewed.
Yeah, because that was exciting.
Yeah.
That would have been awesome to see Al leaping after him, essentially. Mm-hmm. But yeah, the plan was the whole time, one leap, fix a wrong, and come back. But again, you know...
So you're telling me that the premise was to do good. It wasn't just an experiment to go back on the timeline and just see what's going down.
Yes. You know? It was supposed to be a one and done trip.
Buy Yahoo at $5 a share when it first on the IPO.
That's right, buddy. Now there's been talk of a reboot of the show. Mm-hmm. And in the the thing with season 6. Donald P. Belisario denies it ever happened. But some girl in like 2015 purchased something on eBay, a package, like a 30th anniversary promo of the show. Mm-hmm. And it involved some kind of pictures or screenshots or something of Al standing in the accelerator and then him in character on a scene back in the day, because when he left, he was always Al. He never looked like anyone else to Sam.
Right.
That would have been really confusing.
A little bit.
They always referred to it as his Swiss cheese brain, Sam's.
Right.
But they had pictures of, Al as a leaper in this like portfolio.
Okay.
But Belisario's like, no, this never happened. I don't know what you guys are talking about. So I don't know if he's being hush-hush or what.
Well, I mean, he does have $250 million.
He could.
What did he have at the end of season 5?
A canceled series.
A big payout, apparently.
Well, apparently.
I mean, that's hush money right there.
For real. So there is another fan theory. They were talking about doing a reboot and a direct sequel.
Sure.
And basically the premise was going to be Sam was married. And there is an episode where he leaps back and tries to convince his wife not to leave him as another person. He's another person. He's not himself.
Okay.
And he tries to explain to his wife, your husband's going to do some great things. Don't do this, blah, blah, blah. So in the reboot, that conversation occurred and was fruitful, and they're still married. And they have a daughter. And in the sequel,
even though he disappeared?
Yes.
You have the kid before he left?
Well, yeah, because when he went back and talked to his wife, he altered time, and she stayed with him and didn't leave. Same with Al and his wife.
Yeah, but maybe that's why he couldn't get home.
Because he altered time like that?
He altered timeline. I mean,
I don't know.
Do we not remember Biff's Casino?
I'm telling you, man. Don't take that almanac with you.
Don't.
But the theory is that he's still leaping through time. Mm-hmm. He's, in his 60s probably now at this point. His daughter has become a physicist, and she goes back and leaps to bring him home.
Okay.
And there was a lot of buzz online talking about this. Sci-Fi was supposedly funding it. They were going to pick it up. It was a whole season of script written, and it never took off. I'm like I said, I'm a big fan of the show. I actually do enjoy this show. Reading through some of the articles, I feel like if the show came back as a reboot, it would do really well.
Oh, probably.
Because there's it was rated number 17 in the top 100 TV Guide pop icon shows of all time. Mm-hmm. So it has the fan base.
Oh, sure.
And I feel like if they did the reboot, or not, no, I'm sorry, not a reboot, but a direct sequel, like a continuation of the original, season 6 essentially, I feel like it would do very well.
Oh, yeah.
Especially with today's technology.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it would.
I would watch the
it
shit out of
completely
that.
would. It completely would.
So,
You don't suppose maybe like he's supposed, you know how he's leaping and doing good things and supposed to like bring resolution. What if the last leap that he took was he became Agent Fox Mulder, and he can't do any good because it's all yeah, and that's why you can't find him because I mean they can't prove
there is no spoon.
And then Barroom Al is the guy in the alley with the cigarette. And,
Nice.
yeah, there you go.
Nice.
Yeah,
Classic.
nice little package there at the end.
Yeah. Sealed that up nicely at the end.
Truth is out there.
Yeah, for real. So,
Apparently
yeah.
it comes with a Naruto run.
Yeah, no shit, right? Fucking Kyle. So if you've never seen Quantum Leap, I'm
gonna go check it out now. I mean, geez.
I didn't talk about the spoilers at the beginning. Dude, I get a little choked up talking about that last episode.
I would too.
Like, it is... Watching it, it's like Sam, Scott Bakula's a good actor. He really is.
You always want the good guy to win.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's why it's so bittersweet, because you're like, oh man, he just saved Al's marriage. He's going home. This god or fate or whatever this guy is, he's going to give him one. Nope. But again, I always did think about that, but I never really processed it too hard. What if he didn't right the wrong? Would he be stuck there forever? Because technically he has 100% success rate.
I mean, he's 97, 95 for 95 at this point.
Yeah.
And if he does what right needs to be wronged, or
If he does right the wrong.
I need to start day drinking or something, man. This is like dyslexia is coming in hard.
Just
now.
take a hit off that duster.
Jesus, might have to. No, if he is righting the wrong, and that triggers the leap, then how can you say he didn't right the wrong? I mean, what's he supposed to do? Save Kennedy?
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Like, keep music on MTV? What's
I mean, is there a 0 instead of a 1 somewhere in the code of the accelerator that couldn't process one and done?
No, Y2K.
Yeah, dude, that's what it was.
That's what it was.
Forgot to set the clock back to 1999.
It's set back to 1900 because computers don't know how to count.
No. So fucking stupid. Is that something we were really afraid of?
Did you not see like the news reports of people like creating these nuclear bomb shelters?
Yeah. No, I mean just like I'm questioning it as a society. Was that really something that we thought was going to happen? Like, what is wrong with us?
They honestly bought that.
I legitimately laughed at it.
Do you think half of them are flat earthers?
Oh, I guarantee they're flat earthers. Hopefully they didn't dig their fallout shelters too deep, or they dig down through the bottom of the earth.
Well, no, they wouldn't. They'd catch on fire because they'd get to the core at some point.
Well, there is no core on a flat earth. We're just
liquid hot magma. Anyway.
Anywho, go check it out. Go watch Quantum Leap. It's a great series.
I mean, I'm sold now.
97 hours of your life worth watching.
I don't know why I didn't hop on that bandwagon. Well, that was 89. I mean, yeah, I was kind of into boobies at that point.
That explains a lot.
Yeah.
I was 7, so...
I was 10.
Yeah.
Ish.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Maybe I was too busy doing the Ghostbusters thing. Maybe that was it.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, go check it out. Definitely go watch it.
Absolutely.
Appreciate everybody listening, taking the ride. Obviously, I spoiled the end of the show, but even knowing the end, it's still worth watching and seeing it happen and unfold.
Do you want me to edit a spoiler alert thing in the audio?
Yeah, just have wah, wah, spoiler.
Just cue the Silent Hill horn.
Yeah, for real, right? Oh my god, I hate that game. When you're in a dark alley, in a foggy dark alley, There's no reason little children need to be just laughing.
No.
That's not fucking natural.
That's not cool.
That freaks me out more than anything.
That's bad parenting.
Just hearing little children fake. You're
Just
in a horror
giggling.
movie.
Yeah.
Don't laugh. It's not funny. Get out of here, kid.
Yeah.
Go back home and take a fucking nap and drink a juice box.
Get a Capri-Sun and
There it is.
Taco Bell. Yeah.
Yeah, we need to make some adult Capri-Suns with like vodka and...
I thought that's what the lime-a-rita was.
Yeah, essentially, yeah. Fun fact, if you drink 13 of those, you'll puke right there in a lawn chair, because I did that.
Did you?
Oh, yeah. Me and my buddy Chris and Shannon, we were having da beer bash.
Uh-huh.
And I was pounding those things. I bet I drank 13 to 15 of them in a matter of a couple of hours.
Yeah.
And I'm just sitting there in my chair in the backyard. We got a fire going. It's over there.
And all of this.
Down here.
Like Alabama here or Florida here?
Probably Florida. It was within the last 5 years. We had the boys when we did it, so you were down here.
I always miss the good stuff.
Oh, that's all right. We'll catch up eventually.
I'm surprised I got the mechanical stuff performance.
Well, you were the master of the mechanical stuff.
No, you were.
I'm sorry, I'm the master.
You were the master of the.
He's the master of the stupid stuff. When we do the Wild Wild West episode, we'll go into great detail of that story.
Yeah.
I don't remember what the hell I was saying. Oh, yeah. So I'm sitting there in my chair, and I've drank 13 to 15 of these things.
The lime-a-rita?
Yeah. And it's, I don't know, 3 o'clock in the morning, and my gut is just not feeling good at all. And I literally...
But does that stop him, folks? No.
Chris and Shannon are sitting in their chairs. We got a fire going on over there. And I literally just look over the side of my chair, and I point down, and I go, I'm going to puke right there now. And I literally just leaned over and just went all over the place, like buckets of plenty.
The sign of a true alcoholic.
Yeah.
They announce it first.
Yeah.
It's not just a sudden...
Yeah. And then I rinsed my mouth out with a lime-a-rita.
It's like... It's like calling your shot at home when you're up to bat. Just... Oh, we need to do a Major League episode.
1 and 2. We need to do a League of Their Own episode.
Oh, yeah.
Great movie.
My nephew is in... he played coach pitch baseball this season.
Mm-hmm.
And, if ever anybody even remotely got hurt, like there was one kid, I don't know if he just landed wrong going into second or got tripped up or what, but he was crying.
Yeah.
And William's on there, and we just kind of like, there's no crying in baseball.
That's great.
Are you crying?
Hell yeah.
And granted, we didn't say that to the kid, but it's like,
You say it to the kid's mom. There's no crying. Is he crying? There's no crying in baseball.
There's no crying in
That's
baseball.
awesome.
Oh, it's so great. And I mean, not knocking the pain of a child. It's just...
Yeah.
It's like, okay, it's been 25 minutes, kid. He
was still crying?
You're not hurt anymore. Now you're just milking it.
It was one of those cries, I bet, too, where if you actually stared at him and he caught you staring, he would immediately have stopped.
Probably, yeah.
I do that in the grocery store all the time when I'm at work. People will walk through with their kids in a cart, and the kid's just crying and screaming, and I'll just stare right at the kid, and as soon as they see me, they're like, I'm like, yeah, you're fine. Shut up.
Yeah, exactly. You're a fake.
So yeah, kids, we don't have an exact air date on this episode.
Yeah, we're not sure.
But we wanted to at least knock one out while we're in the same fucking room.
Absolutely. Because, why not?
How often does that happen?
This would be a first.
Yeah, it really would.
It is, actually.
This is the first episode.
This is the first
episode number 14. 15.
15. Took us 15 episodes to get here.
We are sad, strange little men. And we have our own pity.
Yep.
So yeah, check us out. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We're on there.
Mm-hmm.
We got links.
We mentioned all of that at the beginning, so go back, listen.
Yeah.
Email us.
Oh, another thing we didn't mention, his illustrious wife did hook up our Twitter, and we have, what is that, a link tree?
Oh, yeah, we have a link tree now. It's the Instagram. The link is on our Instagram profile at the Maximum Effort Podcast. Go to our bio. There's a link there. You can go to our Patreon, our website. the Tweety, YouTube. I mean,
we should put one on there that links back to Instagram and just create an infinity loop.
Isn't that how the snap begins?
I'm going to edit the YouTube video, and as soon as I do that, I'm going to have you disappear from the scene just to mess with people's heads.
Nice.
I can't really do that. I'm not that good.
He's cool, but he's nothing. But if you just...
I bet I could if I figured it. If I
just make
worked
the
on that.
screen black, and you just have like 5 gems light up where the Infinity Gauntlet.
I just need to do the Batman scene where I grab the edge of the screen and just push you out of the way.
Yes.
And it's just me. Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be
and I
fantastic.
actually do it this time, not just like the last time where it was like, I see what you did there.
Yeah. Yeah. It's clever.
Because he did do that. But
I did. I tried anyways.
I got it.
It was fancy.
It was good times.
So yeah, kids, we appreciate everything you do. Definitely watch the YouTube channel. Appreciate our patrons. I can't say that word.
Our patrons.
Our patrons are
From
on
Patreon.
Patreon.
There
That's
it
why I
is.
have trouble with it.
Yeah.
Definitely appreciate those guys. If you want to check us out, patreon.com/maximum effort podcast. You can help us out for a little as $1.
Yeah.
Keep the lights on in
Just
here.
$1, man. Yeah. Keep the softwares running.
Yeah. We do this for free. If you want to donate, we appreciate you. If not,
We do.
just keep listening for free. We still appreciate you.
Exactly. We love you. So, I guess that's the Maximum Effort podcast for this episode.
Yeah, and we got yelled at the last episode, so we just gave you a whole dose of maximum quantum leaping effort. That's Dave.
That's Adam.
Night, kids.